Welcome back to another prompt for Dephemerember 2024. If you happen to just stumble upon this video by chance, you don't know what Dephemerember is, please check the Dephemerember info link in the description box below. We're going to dive right back in. December 12th, bookmark and black and white. I'm super happy about this one because this gives me an opportunity to add something to my journal that in the meantime has a meaning to me, but I'm not sure yet what this meaning is. So let's do it. And maybe you can add one as well to your journal. I made something for you. Let's just leave it at that for now. You will see more later. So I definitely feel more relaxed today than yesterday. If you saw yesterday's video, I did notice it when I edited the video. I do sound stressed out and I was just rambling and rambling. So let's see if today will go a little bit more peaceful. I don't think we're going to take long, so let me stop rambling for now. So for the bookmark, I have prepared these two pieces of cardstock. These are from the back of a Tim Holtz scrapbook paper pad. I wanted something super sturdy, which this is. So I will be gluing these back to back. And how I chose the size of this is I wanted it to be approximately as long as my pages for the journal. And the width is 1.5 inches or 3.8 millimeters. And that is significant for what I'm going to add on top later. One of the things that I really love most about our crafting community is even though we're scattered all over the world, we're connected through this shared passion of junk journaling. So when we create, we're not just making something pretty. We're telling stories, we're sharing emotions, and we're adding little pieces of ourselves to every project. Don't ever let anyone tell you you're just playing with paper because they don't know all the things that go into playing with paper and what it does to us. Next, I want to cover both sides with some book pages and music sheet. I chose everything in white with black script. If you don't have any book pages or music sheets to work with, you can also just use the freebie that I shared with you yesterday. You could just cut out a piece and put the whole piece on it, since that paper is already collaged. I'll be using my Liquitex matte gel. As always, you can of course use something like Mod Podge or just a glue stick. If you want to tear up your own papers, but you don't have any vintage ones, then you can also check out the new kit I designed, which is under yesterday's video. So that would be December 11th. There you have 8 pages of exactly these kind of book pages. Then I'll go over the whole thing with the matte gel as well. If you're using glue stick, don't do that unless you want it super glossy. Same thing with the Mod Podge, unless you have a really matte Mod Podge, it's going to be glossy, which is fine. It's just something you should be aware of. This will give me a nice matte finish, which is what I prefer. Then we cut the excess off before we add the papers on the other side. I think this might be the shortest video of Dephemerember. And I know some of you will appreciate it and some of you will be sad.
December begins, crafting makes nights long. We come together where we belong. With paper and glue, our hearts we render, crafting joy in Dephemerember. Dephemerember, where hearts unite. With every piece we shine so bright. Across the world our spirits soar, creating together.
Make sure all your corners are glued down well. If they're not, like here, you just add some glue. Check both sides. Next, I'll add some white gesso to push the black a little bit to the back. If you don't have gesso, you can use white acrylic paint. Maybe thin it down a little bit, depending on how thick yours is. And I do that, of course, for both sides. And for anyone looking for something like this, I think they're just called silicone brushes. Super handy. So once everything is dry, I want to add some stenciling. I want to use these hearts. So this is Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous, and it's called Hearts THS017. So this is one of the older stencils, you can tell by the number. And I honestly wish that the newer ones had the description like this in black and not just the number down here, hardly visible, you know what I mean? I know you can rub a crayon over it with the new ones, but how cool is this? I don't know why this was ever stopped, but anyway, that's beside the point. So I won't start all the way at the top with the design because I want some room up there. Oh, and this works actually quite perfectly, that this biggest heart here on the bottom just barely fits. And I want to add some texture paste. So I have this black one, black opaque texture paste, which I think I've only ever used once, and I actually forgot I had. Luise asked me today whether I have it, and I was like, I don't remember. But this is something you need to use because I think these dry up quite quickly. If you don't have black texture paste, you can just use white texture paste. If you don't have any of that, you can mix your own by using either white acrylic paint or white gesso mixed with either a very fine-grained sand or baby powder. I've done both. Both work. Both give you a different result. If you want black, that would be interesting to mix sand with the black, but I guess that should work. I don't know if it would give you little white spots or not, depending on the color of the sand, because I don't think any of you have black sand. And the baby powder, of course, is white, so that would probably make it gray. So you would have to play around with it, but it would probably be pretty hard to get a real black. So if you have made your own black texture paste, please let us know in the comments below, because I think that is something that would be very interesting for a lot of us, including myself. So let me just add a tissue underneath. Okay, I'll use the same silicone brush because that is so handy for so many things. Maybe a palette knife would have been better because it's more stiff.
From simple scraps,
no, it's okay.
Colors bold, we wrap our stories into gold. Each prompt a spark, a joyful ember, bringing warmth and deep.
Okay, so all of my hearts are filled out, and now I can decide, do I want these hearts to be flat and even, or do I want them to have texture? And I think I like it when they have texture, so I'm just going to kind of roughen the texture up because I just personally think that looks cool, but maybe you like very smooth. Cool. Wow, I like that a lot. And whenever you use texture paste with a stencil, be sure to either wash it immediately or at least soak it in water, because once the texture paste dries on your stencil, I don't know how you'll be able to get it off again. So before this dries, I want to add a little bit of embossing powder, preferably just on one heart, but I don't know if I'm able to do that. How do we do that? It would have been cute to just do like one in the middle, But yeah, I don't trust myself to aim that well. So let's see if we can still do it on this bottom one. Might already be too dry. Oh, it's not. Look at that. Okay, so now we need to let this dry, unfortunately. That's always the hard part when working with texture paste. That's why I don't do it so often, especially in videos, because who has the time? Who? Do you? I don't. So I did use my heat tool because I don't have patience. I just love the texture on these hearts. And the embossing powder, of course, bubbled up because also the texture paste underneath was not dry, but it's totally fine. Love the texture of it. Oh my goodness, how cool is that? So for the other side, we're going to do something else, but I think before we do that, we're going to add what I wanted to add on top here. So I made this freebie for you earlier today, because when I thought of black and white, I immediately thought of panda bear. If you ever watch my videos to the end, you will know why. But also, panda bears have been following me around lately, which is really funny. If you've been following me on Instagram and following my stories, you will know this. And in case you've missed that, let me share them with you here. So the first clip I'm showing you is from a recent concert that I've been to. Actually, it wasn't a concert, it was a DJ lineup. And the DJ Kygo has this one song where he has the panda bears. And then the second very short clip you'll see is from a walk through the center of the city that I actually made yesterday. And I saw that panda there. And I also wanted to include these cute hearts for you. You can use them however you want. I will be adding them to the other side of my bookmark. So you can see here 4 different panda bears. You always have the same panda bear mirrored so that you can cut them out and glue them back to back. Kind of like we did in the first prompt with the locks and keys, except there you had to print it again, mirrored yourself. I wanted to make it easier for you this time, so you just have to cut them out and glue them together. This is a super hard choice because I think they're all adorable, but I think I will go with this first one right here. And I'll also cut out some of these hearts. If you're not a patient fussy cutter, I would suggest you leave a white border around him, then you don't have to be so precise, which is actually what I wanted to do, but I didn't cut well at the beginning, so now I'm cutting, I think this is called kiss cutting, right? When you cut right to the image. So this bookmark is more than just a cute little panda that's going to peek out of our journals. To me, it's a reminder that even in our quiet moments, like when we're journaling, when we're reflecting, or just flipping through our journal pages, we're never really truly alone. Every piece of ephemera we make carries a part of our shared creativity, our shared joy, and our shared love for the little things.
Dephemerember, where hearts unite. With every piece we shine so bright. Across the world our spirits soar.
I'm inking up all of my edges with Distress Ink Black Soot. Also on the bookmark here. So I inked up the panda as well with the black suit. Oh, he's just so adorable. So we can glue him on the top. I just want his head peeking out. Like that. Try not to smile when you look at this guy. Seriously. Oh my goodness. So cute. And if you see somewhere that it doesn't meet up exactly, you just adjust that and ink over that again. Okay, so for the back side, I want to add some of these hearts. I think we'll just layer them. Yeah, and I think I'll just cut the ones again that are sticking out.
Share our dreams, our smiles and tears, building bonds that last for years. Through every craft, yours and mine, we find.
Now the gluing. I do not like the gluing. Okay, we'll do top down. That might make it a little bit easier. So that means we'll just first attach the hearts to each other and then glue the whole thing down, because figuring out these positions is not so easy.
As scissors cut and colors flow, our community continues to grow. With each creation.
This works quite well, working yourself from the bottom up, connecting everything. And speaking of connection, so the reason why I wanted these hearts here is because they symbolize connection. Like how each of us is like one of these hearts. Alone, we are beautiful, but when we come together, we create something even more magical. Each heart on our bookmark can represent a crafter, a friend, or a memory you've shared in this wonderful world of junk journaling. So now we can lift the whole thing. Look, now that's easy. And we just add glue.
Dephemerember, where hearts unite. With every piece we shine so
Can we cut this
bright.
off? I actually don't want to. But they do look a bit weird from this side. Unless if we make them black, will they look less weird? Maybe. So let's just, whoops, way too much. Let's just paint them with acrylic paint. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better than the white. Also, let's not forget the scrap that we need to add from Luise's stash. I'm looking for something that I don't mind cutting up. I just need a very small piece. I would love it to be something just a little bit more sturdy. Maybe I'll just use this. No, I'll use this one. Should be big enough. So first I need to dye this red. I could just paint it with acrylic paint, of course, but I think this is quicker. This is Fired Brick Distress Spray Stain. Let's see if it's dark enough. So this here is just about as much Christmas and red and green as I can handle. You see, these are the tiniest Christmas trees ever. I can deal with that. So this will be my one piece of Christmas in the journal. And I just want to cut out another heart. This is going to be a super special one. Love how wonky it is. I'll also go around it with the black soot. I'll add some clear embossing powder to this because I want this to really stand out. I mean, it would already be just because of the color, but I need this to be extra special. So this is what it looks like once it's embossed. So this heart is super special because it symbolizes the friendship between Luise and myself and our creative journey that we have together. To me, this heart represents how our shared passion for crafting has brought us closer, and not just as collaborators, but also even more so as friends. And the fact that it's dyed red adds even more meaning, because red is the color of love, of passion and connection, and it reminds me of how creativity has this incredible power of bringing people together no matter where we are in the world. So this little red heart is like a spark of inspiration from Luise's world meeting my world, creating something beautiful in the process. And just like the connection that Luise and I share, it also represents the friendship and the bonds that so many of us have built within this community. And I'm getting goosebumps just talking about this. So as you create your own bookmark, you could think about the connections that have brought you here, whether it's friendships, inspiration, or even just the joy of being part of something bigger. Let this red heart remind us that crafting isn't just about making something, it's about sharing a piece of ourselves, about creating these bonds and celebrating the beauty of friendship, just like the one Luise and I are so lucky to have. It doesn't really matter where I put this, because obviously it's a bookmark and I can change it anytime I want to. Let's just put it here for now. Maybe let's put it more in the middle so that we can see it better when we close it. Let's put it here and see our little panda peeking out. How cute is he? So every time you see that panda peeking out of your own journal, let it remind you that you're part of something special. We're all connected by creativity, by kindness, and of course by our love for turning everyday objects into art. So this bookmark here is a little piece of that connection, and I hope it makes you smile as much as it makes me smile. This was, oh no, where did this come from? Oh, that came from here. Okay, I'll have to fix that. I think the junk brain opened. That's okay, we can always fix things. So, December 12th, bookmark and black and white. Wow, we are at the end of week 2. Can you believe it? Almost halfway there. So have fun with the freebie. Have fun making your own bookmark, no matter what that might look like. I'm super excited to see what you create. Love you guys. Mwah! Mwah!